The other week I showed off a couple of wagons I own. One of the wagons I showed off was this. This is a Dapple kit. It's a 16-ton mineral wagon, and I not only have one of these, but I in fact have two. I showed both of these off in the same video, and you may be wondering, why do I have two? Well, I bought this guy new, paid £2 for this at a show. The whole point of me buying this was just sort of to go, oh, you can buy really cheap wagons for, cheap. I paid £2 for it, and I think these are great. Yeah, it needs a bit of TLC, but that's kind of the point of today's video. Just give this wagon the TLC it needs. It is a bit older than this. It actually dates back to Airfix. Airfix originally made these wagons, I believe. It could have been Rosebud, but I'm 90% sure it is Airfix that originally made them. And then after Airfix moved away from model railway kits, Dapple came and bought the whole lot and still make them to this day. And because the molds are at least 40 years old on nearly everything, these older ones are a little bit more sought after because they go together a little bit better than, I say a little, they go together a lot better than the new ones. This was a nightmare to build because everything was just sort of bent ever so slightly out of square, so nothing really wanted to fit together. It's more like trying that. But I got it there. I got it in the end. The wheels on this did not agree with my track. When I got this guy, the wheels were plastic and I didn't like them, so I changed them for the ones that came with this. And they magically started working, so I don't know what I did wrong with this kit. But enough about me talking about this kit. I want to actually fix this guy up and make it look presentable on my layout. A couple of problems is I don't have any transfers for it. So this white stripe here, don't have it. The number, don't have it. 16-ton, don't have it. I'm going to have to freehand them, and I'm not very good at that. But before that, I'll start by painting the chassis. I won't bother painting the body because I kind of like the grey. I'll work out something for the couplings and repair the back buffers. So we'll do the repairs and then start painting. I've got a scrap chassis here. It's snapped right there. So I'm just going to pinch the buffers from it and then never ever touch it again. Actually, the couplings may be good from this. This is the glue I'm using. This is solvent based and actually melts the plastic together. So I'm hoping it's going to be strong enough for this application. I've had mixed results using it. It's done good enough on other kits, so I'm going to pray that it's strong enough for this as well. The nice thing about the solvent is there's a little bit of play while it's drying. You can slightly adjust stuff. Yeah, it's got buffers again. I'm going to glue these doors shut. Yeah, I like that they open, but I'm not really going to use it. I'm going to put lead in the bottom of here so it doesn't really move about anymore. So these doors will kind of be made redundant. I need to be careful where I put this now because I don't want to get all glue around the edges here will be visible. Probably be better if I close the door actually. While I wait for that, I'll pinch the couplings from this. I would use the saw on this, but the plastic's kind of flexible, so I'm just going to use a knife. Oh, that coupling height is perfect where it is. I'm actually going to hot glue these in just so they're a bit more rigid. I love this stuff, but I just need this to guarantee that it holds. I don't want any play with it whatsoever. And annoyingly, I've just noticed these buffers look like they're pressed in. I'm not going to fix that because you won't notice once it's running. I'm going to take the wheels out for this, make my life easier. Lots of hot glue. I love hot glue. It's really annoying how stringy hot glue is. It's my only real complaint with it. Oh, and then it burns if you touch it, but it's in the name. Glue. I've just broke off one of the new buffers and I've dropped it on the floor, never to be seen again. Great. Right now, it's currently one of the hottest days on record in May, so it is quite hot in this garage. And I'm gonna bet it's gonna take quite a while for the glue to dry this time around, but we'll soldier on. And there you go, it's got couplings on there for a minute. I'll steal these pieces now with the actual hooks on and we'll just do the same thing again, just fit it with hot glue. These are going to be very annoying to do, I already tell. Should I saw them? I think I'll saw them. Oh, that was not fun to cut. And this is basically useless now. I might pinch that thing there, but I kind of doubt it. I think I want that coupling resting in the worst spot possible because it's sitting right on top of that bit of frame there. Oh well, nothing that a pile of hot glue can't fix. I might have to put a little bit of oil on this hook because I think it's a bit stiff. We'll find out in a minute. This has gotten out of control, the hot glue. Once all this dries, I'm going to cut back all the stringy bits so it's not a mess. And then we do the exact same for the other side. Hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. Oh, I've just realised these might be in the way of the wheels actually. I think that set there is fine. That's not making contact, but it's touching the glue. And it's pulled half the glue with it. Cool, that's good enough for me. I have low standards. Lead. I like to put a little bit more than that in. I can't actually find the rest of my lead, so that's all we got for this time around. Actually, it feels like a decent weight anyway. I've changed both buffers on this side because I lost one, and I think they look a little better being a bit beefier, because the last ones I used are really small and narrow, but these are kind of beefy. Well, I don't think there's really anything left to do besides paint now, which is also my least favourite part. I'll paint on the white stripe, do like all the numbering stuff. Usually I'd say use masking tape, but I don't have any masking tape. It's do as I say, not as I do. The stripe needs to go on the tipper end. I found this out after I built the last one. I'm just eyeballing it so that line looks even. That's had absolutely nowhere near long enough to dry, but it's more just to sort of go, this is what it should kind of look like. Better than this, but it should look a lot better than this. I'm using really crappy brushes. Moral of the story, don't use sellotape, use masking tape. I'm going to bet a lot of money it's going to do the same on the other side when I paint on that little stripe. I love rebels. When doing stuff like the smaller details, like numbers and stuff like this stripe, it's nice to always have something to have a reference against, like another model or photos, preferably coloured photos because they're going to be more accurate than a model. You can see on this mineral wagon here how the number is on the left side of the wagon on both sides. Annoyingly, I doubt you can tell too well because of the weathering. Stop spilling colour everywhere. That's for the number, that's the 16-ton mark. They're not brilliant, they're far, far, far from perfect, but you're not really going to see them anyway once the wagon's all dirty, so I'm not too bothered about it being a bit naffed, as I said earlier. I'm not going to put numbers in, it's more just so it's got, oh look, it's there, instead of, oh look, it's perfectly correct, and it's a real running number and everything. It's just so it's the illusion of that it's there. There you go, this one on this side as well, not as square, but again you won't notice once the wagon's all dirty, hopefully. For the rest of it, I'm going to use the cheapest acrylic I have, because I think this stuff works pretty well for wagons. And smoke boxes actually, it gives it that nice flat sort of dirty look, and I think brilliant for that. Start off with the coal. I'm not really doing anything special here, I'm just sort of just making sure everything's covered. I'm not too worried about this looking scruffy or anything. It's just a coal wagon. I will put a little bit of weathering powder on it just so it looks a bit more dusty instead of just paint. That's what I did for this one. I think it looks fine. I'm cooking in this garage. The only nice thing about this heat is that the paint's drying pretty quick. I'm going to do all the under frame detail stuff. I take the wheels out, obviously, because I don't really want to cover the wheels in paint. And hopefully all these bits of hot glue should get hidden by the paint. So I'll start off just being a bit more delicate on the outside where the frames are, because all this will be visible. If this is going to be visible, I'd like it to be a bit better than what I'm going to do for the bottom. I'm not terribly worried about getting bits of paint up here and just scrape them off, and even if it leaves a mark, it doesn't matter too much because I plan to dirty it up anyway. Probably be easier to spray this chassis if I'm being honest, but I don't have black paint and I can't really be asked to go out and get any. There we go. Flying through the bottom now. This is the most horrendous and disgusting way you could paint anything. Don't do what I'm doing. Buffers keep falling off. I'm gonna have to hot glue them on or something. I'll leave them off for a minute. I've also just realised the brakes are actually missing from this side. I know where we can get brakes from. Thank you, junk about kicking around for ages. I've had enough. I've had enough. These buffers have a chance. I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough with Pop Bloom anyway. I'm a bit more scared about the brakes because everything's still wet. I can't really be asked to wait for everything to dry. So I'd say just pop a squat there. I'll try eyeball it with the other side. Time for the same thing again there. I really do advise you do things properly. Don't do what I'm doing. I think I've just about got away with that. No more hot glue. Yes, more black paint though. Everything gets a bit of black paint. I've got the wagon very crudely painted. I couldn't be asked to clean the tape off, if I'm being honest. It's not sticky anymore, but all the gross residue's still there. I'm gonna put the coal load in, and I'll give us a pretty good idea for where I need to blacken the tops and the side. I'll take some of this off. This would just be from overspill from coal going into the wagon. I'm not gonna do a super job of cleaning this. I just want to just have it so you see bits of the wagon sticking through. See on the sides here where there's open bits of wagon? Yeah, we're just going to brush. And then I'll take my finger and wipe most of that away. Soon I can still get the coal out. Here we go. There we go. It just looks like coal residue now. And I think it's time for weathering. And this is going to be the most offensive and laziest weathering I ever do. I'm not going to even wait for this to dry. It's literally just the state it's in now. It's the state we're weathering in. That is actually a bit thick. I don't like how thick that is. Why is that so thick? I think this is all just sludge, if I'm being honest, from the bottom of my painting pot. I'll pick out key bits then, like frames and stuff with this. If I don't like how it looks, just take it away. This isn't supposed to be good. This is literally supposed to be the most offensive mineral wagon I can make. It's far from perfect. This is not what I call good weathering. I really can't state this enough. What I'm doing here is sacrilegious. I'm not doing a good job of this wagon. I'm doing really bad. But I kind of like that I'm doing bad. It's sort of the whole point of this. It's supposed to just be a really shit wagon. The magic sauce. This black powder will fix this completely. I'm not even joking. The glue from the tape has actually been a massive pain in the ass, and I do actually need to get it off. I'm just going to scratch it off. There we go, that looks a lot better already. Compared that to that, that's a bit more presentable. I told you, secret sauce ties everything together. I think I might leave the gross ugly smudges. Actually, you know what? No, I don't like them. They go in. Put a little touch of oil on, see if that does anything. Kind of doubt it, and I reckon it'll make my life a lot. Oh, actually, flew through it. You can see the scratches where I tried getting all the stuff off. I'm really annoyed about that actually. That might be visible when it's actually running. I have to wait and see. I hate the black powder. I like the black powder, but I hate it when I get it everywhere. My fingers are literally disgusting because of it. I need to use more weathering powders. This is more going to be for the frames of the wagon though. So it's just going to be the browns. I'll get a little bit of brown on the wagon. A little bit of rust there. Really should use photos for this, but I'm just going to make it up as I go along because I don't really care. I'm really annoyed about the scratches. And there you go. I'm willing to call this done. And I've broken off one of the brakes. Yay. I'm really annoyed about the scratches. I'm so gutted that those are visible. I should not have used the knife on this. It's too late now. The damage is done. Considering how offensively I built this guy, I feel like it's decent enough to where I'll get away with it on the layout. So I will go back to this wagon and actually weather it properly. But considering how dirty and cheaply and quickly I've just done that, I feel like it blends in good enough. You know, I will clean it and do this properly because, yeah, I had fun just doing this quickly and dirty as possible. But I'm not happy with it. I feel like it's good enough to just blend in and not really get noticed, but the tape really fucked it. So I will clean this up a bit and actually do it properly. I'll see if I can get rid of the scratches, but I kind of doubt it. So I'll work up a new plan to hide it. But hey, that's all I got for you this week. I upload every single Saturday, and if you enjoyed, feel free to come back next week. Bye bye now.